Hello, Year 1 and Year 2, and welcome to mine and Henry's bedtime story. I hope you've all had a lovely weekend and ready for your next week of home learning at home. Now, this week is a very special week because this week it is Henry's birthday, and on Thursday, Henry will be 2 years old. Now, I know lots of you at the minute might be having your birthdays and might have had really big birthday parties planned that you were really excited for. And likewise, Henry had a birthday party planned, didn't you? And you were going to go on a dog walk and meet all of your friends. Now, unfortunately, Henry's birthday party can't go to plan. So this week, I need you to help me and be my little minions and come up with some ideas of how we can help Henry celebrate his birthday and what we could do instead. So I've got a story this week to read to you about how the minions, you've got to wait, about how the minions helped Dracula celebrate his birthday, okay? So, are you going to sit nicely through our story, Henry? So, Paul, goodbye. Take out. So, Dracula's last birthday. Minions have roamed the earth since the beginning of time. Before there was Gru, before there were evil gadgets to invent, before there were supervillains who wanted to take over the world, there were minions. Ever since the very first minion crawled out of the ocean and onto dry land, these little yellow creatures have been searching for one thing, the most terrible, wicked, despicable master they could find. The minions lived to serve. They had no trouble tracking down the biggest, baddest dinosaur or helping a wicked pharaoh build a pyramid. But even though they just wanted to help, something always went wrong. Oops! And the pyramid's falling onto the pharaoh's head. Whenever disaster struck, the minions kept moving. One day they came across a dark stone castle. It looked creepy, creaky and cold. It was perfect. The minions couldn't wait to meet whoever lived there. The minions pushed open the front door and peeked inside. Out of nowhere, bats came flying towards them. "Oh, no! Stop, stop!" they cried. Trying to get away from the bat attack, the minions tumbled into dusty cobwebs. They jumped into sticky cauldrons. They hid behind heavy, dirty curtains. When the bats finally left, the minions came out of their hiding spots and looked around. At the end of the long, dark hallway was a spooky wooden coffin. "Ooh," they said. One of the minions walked up to the coffin. He knocked on the lid. It burst wide open. Dracula was inside. "Welcome to my castle," the evil vampire bellowed. "See, see, see," cried the minions. They couldn't believe it. They had found a new master. "Big boss, big boss," they cheered. The minions got right to work trying to help Dracula, however they could. First, they decided to clean up the castle. Carl and Mike took turns sweeping the cobwebs. "Me do it," Carl said. "No, me do it," Mike replied. "Me," Carl insisted. "Me," said Mike. Soon enough, the two minions were tussling down the hallway. They bounced and rolled and tumbled all around until they got tangled up in an enormous web. Next, the minions replaced all of Dracula's melted candles. One by one, they removed the old wax. They carefully polished each candlestick. They gently put in fresh new candles. Then they lit them all with a torch. Finally, at the end of every day, the minions helped Dracula get ready for bed. They hung up his cape, fluffed his itchy pillow and reminded him to always brush his fangs before bedtime. "Floss, floss, brush, brush," they said. Over time, Dracula came to rely on the minions and think of them as his friends. He even let them in on a secret. "Tomorrow will be my 357th birthday," he said proudly. The minions were excited. They wanted to throw their evil boss an evil party to celebrate how many years of evil doing, but they didn't have much time. Kevin made a list of all the things they needed to do: bake a cake, make drinks, find a great gift. Dave and Paul got started on the cake. They mixed together eggs, flour, strawberry and sugar. Yum, yum, they said. Chuck and Norbert made a punch in one of Dracula's cauldrons. They put ice cream and fresh fruit juice in. Delicious! Finding the right gift was the hardest part. What does a minion get for a villain who has it all? The minions put their heads together until they thought of the perfect present. A portrait of Dracula with his yellow friends by his side. They got to work painting their masterpiece. Happy birthday! Finally, it was time. The big day had arrived. Dave and Paul led Dracula to the ballroom where the party was just getting started. Surprise! The minions yelled. Ah, how wonderful! Dracula cackled as he sipped from his giblet of fruit punch. Big boss, big cake, said Kevin. He opened the door to reveal minions carrying strawberries and a cream cake. Dracula took a deep breath and blew out all the candles. Ooh, they were about to give Dracula his present when Norbert realised it was way too dark to see. They had gotten to a lot of trouble making it perfect, and he wanted to make sure their boss would enjoy it. Lee idea, Kevin said. The minions grabbed the curtains and pulled them apart. Sunlight poured in and onto their painting. Party, big boss, the minions cooed, admiring their artwork. Big boss, they said. Dracula did not say a word. The minions turned around. Where Dracula had been sitting, there was now a big pile of ashes. The minions forgot about the vampire's biggest weakness, sunlight. Uh-oh, said Stuart, slapping his forehead. Not again. Have you come back, Henry? Soon they found another perfect, despicable master in a French captain. At least, that is, until they messed up again. And that's the end of the story. Now, your job this week, isn't it, Henry? Because it's your birthday on Thursday. You need to think how we can make Henry's birthday just as fun as it would have been if we'd been able to meet up with his friends. So once you've listened to our story, if you reply to us on Twitter with some of your super ideas, and then we can maybe make some of those happen for Henry on Thursday. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a lovely week at home.